I like to call it more of a waddle. A limp.
No, you know what it
That
looks
he's
like?
got an injury, but like he's just lopsided.
You know what it kind of looks like if like you running to the bathroom before you shit your pants?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Look at
I
him.
know.
Look, he's like pumping out that fucking gut.
It's the tubby man walk. It's just like the balance is off center, and he's got skinny little ankles there. So
Yeah, the knees and the ankles. I mean, he failed out of the Navy because his knees couldn't hold up that weight of his. So I mean, it's been downhill ever since.
he was skinny then, fat skinny.
Still fat. That's a key word.
That's talking about me?
No.
No,
not at
Tuukka
all.
Rask.
Tuukka
Oh,
Rask.
Tuukka Rask.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Bill, you didn't drink Jesus' nectar today?
No, I had to take a break today. Whew.
We're gonna talk Tuukka. I'm also gonna need a refill.
Fuck it.
That a boy, Billiam. Peer pressure always was easy for you.
I've been keeping these White Claws down here for.
You get a fridge, bro.
Why do I need a fridge? I'll just drink them warm like a real man.
Okay.
Florida changed you.
Florida has changed you.
That's right.
Did we have a beep in Monday's headlines?
No.
Everything was
No.
kind of flirting the line there.
Everything was A-okay.
As long as you flirt the line, we're good.
Yeah.
Always.
Talking about Paul Pierce's Instagram whores. That's okay.
That's fine.
There were. That's what he called them.
I mean, I said they were disgusting. So, I mean, is that okay?
And I said, who was?
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous.
I love it. I love him for it. Good for him. Good on Paul Pierce.
So funny.
Mm-hmm.
So funny. All right, there we go. Ray, any more inspiring stories to tell?
I don't know. You don't have Snapchat, but Easter Sunday, my brother-in-law's almost started a forest fire because they lit a firecracker off, and the sparks came down and hit a brush pile, and just it went and fucking.
Excellent.
It was awesome. I giggled. All the guys were running around trying to find a hose and a fire extinguisher, and I was just doing this. Good job, boys.
Oh, you were there?
I was giggling my ass off. Everyone's running around. You know, fuck. Burn, motherfucker, burn.
Where are my keys? Just in case this gets close. Let's go.
Yeah.
Time to go.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's getting a little hot. I think it's time to leave.
Yep.
Fucking pyros.
How was your Easter festivities?
Oh, it was fine.
Yeah. In-laws?
Yeah, a lot of them.
A lot of them.
Yeah,
That's the worst.
from like different sides. They
Oh.
all came out of the woodwork.
Was Sun Tree Ahoy Ahoy there or no? No? Damn it.
No,
Damn that. Son of a bitch.
no. I would have let you know immediately.
Taking a picture because we don't have any pictures of this guy.
Government doesn't allow that. All right. This is the Simple Mind Sports Show, Fat Tuesday edition, April 6th. Bruins NHL trade deadline talk. Welcome to the show. A week from yesterday.
The 12th? Is it the 12th?
12th.
12th.
What a dumb move by the NHL. You put the trade deadline on a Monday? That's not good for news.
It's always Thursday. Thursday's always trade deadlines.
Yeah,
NHL
for sure.
does everything ass backwards.
They're Canadians. They're Canadians. That's what they do.
Goddamn Canucks. Like all the deals that are going to be made on Saturday and Sunday.
Which,
And the news coming out, like no one's going to be able to cover it.
you didn't talk about it on headlines. The Vancouver Canucks have 20 guys that are COVID positive right now.
Yeah, they're done.
It also said that there's new strains.
20?
People are just like puking their
20.
guts out.
Yeah.
Christ.
Like the new, I guess puking really wasn't a symptom for COVID, but these new strains, like guys are just like hurling
Oh,
their
fuck.
guts out.
Boys, please go to simplemindsports.com and read my blog about puking in the shower, the number one place to puke.
Yeah, send that to the Canucks.
I'm going to.
Maybe it'll help them through. Or you know what else could help them through? A little bit of white birch brewing.
Boom.
Fucking transitions are on point. I need to drink liquor more often, or beer, because this is a beer ad. Though I think that White Birch Brewing clearly is one of the best breweries in New Hampshire. Tap rooms open, people. Flights and pints and merch is available in Nashua, New Hampshire. Ray, address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
Head on down, get your flights, get your pints, bring your buddies. If you see it in the store, get yourself a 6-pack, a 4-pack. Enjoy it safely. And wherever you get it, tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you. I'm thinking that we're going to need some more White Birch Brewing and beers and booze and whatever gets you through this hockey season if the Bruins don't make a significant move by next Tuesday, by next Monday. We just said that. It's on Monday or over the weekend, which is where all the deals are going to be made. Either way, point is they got to make a move, right? So or do they? Which way? So we talked about it on Monday. Can they be sellers or could they be buyers? To me, I guess the only way, like selling means you're dumping a piece for picks, maybe a young prospect or two or something, not in the league. The only guy you have like that, I think, is David Pastrnak. Or, Krejci. Not Pastrnak. Krejci.
No.
Like who's – you're not moving the first line. We talked about it Monday. We can get into a little bit. I'd explore Pastrnak. I don't want to go too deep into that right now, but because we know they're not. They're not going to move those first guys. And you can't move Tuukka because he's hurt. Seems like he has a broken back. Might never play again.
One can only hope.
Like, the quest may be over, right?
It's over.
Quest is over.
It's officially over.
God damn it, Tuukka.
Because he's a free agent. So this is it.
How do you sell? I mean, a Halak is a guy that you can dump, but what are you going to get for a Halak? A third rounder, maybe not even.
If you're lucky.
We talked about on Monday. DeBrusk is a guy that's been heavily rumored. That's not a sell to me. I think you're trying to get something pretty significant back. That's a buy.
If you move Halak, you're selling because that means. And if you're not adding a goalie and you move Halak, that means you're going to go with Vladar and Jeremy Swayman, and that's going to be your future tandem moving forward. Because I think if you move him, he's 36, 37?
Yeah, he's up there, yeah.
Halak, so I mean, the writing's on the wall for him. He's probably getting ready to retire after this year too. He's not a number one goalie. Putting Vladar in right now and trying to get in a playoff push probably is not the best move either. You know, he's unproven. He's got 4 starts under his belt and an atrocious fucking stint against Tampa last year in the playoffs. So, I mean, yeah, that's a sign of selling. If they move Halak knowing that you need a goalie where they're trying to sniff around on the trademark for a goalie, I don't think this team's going to sell. I don't think they're going to sell at all. I think they're going to add pieces that they can win a championship. The window's closing. You know, Bergeron's 35, Marchand's 33. You kind of want to maybe get those guys another one. You know, you just watch Zdeno Chara walk out the door with only, you know, he was 1 and 2 in the finals. And you know, it would have been nice to get him another one. I don't think they're going to make the same mistake with Bergeron. I think they're going to load up for this shit. It's there. You have the talent. You know, your team's a playoff team. You just got to add a few pieces to it and big pieces. You need to make a good move to get some talent here. I mean, I say you
hold on. Ray, are these guys sellers or buyers? Should they be looking towards the future a little bit more? I think Bill's right, and I think I'm right in saying that they're not going to be. I would say based on the track record of the Bruins, the ownership of the Bruins, how important it is to make the playoffs, them dumping key pieces to get better in 2 or 3 years is very, very unlikely. Yeah. But should they?
I mean, they should, but I think, like Bill said and you said, these older guys, these vets, they're not going to be around much longer, and the time to win is now. So you got to load up now. I mean, yeah, it might sacrifice a little bit of your future for next 3 years, but you might as well do it now because the chances to win a cup are, it's like every year you hear it, it's like do or die. It's either this year you're not going to make it back, but they still have somehow keep coming back and coming back. And I think this year, 2021, is the year that, you know, if they don't win it, then it's time to blow it all up.
Well, let me ask you this then: is selling? Can there be a situation between selling and buying? And I'm going to stick with Krejci. I've been on it since last offseason. He's in the last year of his deal. He's at 6 point something million. He has not produced on the Bruins. That second line has been nothing. He hasn't produced. He hasn't even produced on the power play. So at this point, like if you move on from him, you're not necessarily selling a piece that's working. You're selling it to somebody else that might be able to get a little bit more out of him, someone who needs help on their power play or something that has more pieces around it. Like, I think that there's something to be done there where moving Krejci as a big name and a big piece gets you a decent return that not only helps you in the future with maybe a first round draft pick, but also brings back a young kid with something to prove that can play in the NHL right now. And I guess my point is, bottom line is Krejci's not giving you anything anyway. So whoever you bring in, like, and maybe you package that with the DeBrusque, or maybe you make another move with the DeBrusque. Like, can they? I just think Krejci might be a good guy to start and be a key with. Now, you said, Bill, he's got a no trade clause, so it might be a lot harder said than done. But how many more of these fucking veterans can they let walk out the door for absolutely nothing?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to get something for Krejci, but again, I just don't see it. I think they're going to be buyers. You know, again, the talent's too great on this team not to go for a championship.
But don't you agree with the point I just made? Couldn't you still consider it a buy if you were able to get Krejci out the door and bring in? I mean, I don't know hockey as well as you, but bring in a name that helps you immediately in addition to a first round pick. Look at how much the Bruins have paid over the past 5 seasons at the trade deadline. It's always a prospect and a pick for an aging veteran that can help your team. Shouldn't Krejci be that same guy? And can't you get someone back that can do something on this roster? Because Krejci's not doing anything.
He's got 21 assists, a couple goals. I mean, but yeah, he's not doing a ton. I don't think he's going to get you a first, truthfully. You know what I mean? And I think you'd probably ride it out. I wouldn't mind seeing him back next year. I don't think he's going to come back next year, but if you can bring him back for cheap, you're not really losing it for nothing. I mean, the talent's still there. Yeah, he's not scoring a lot of goals, but he's 21 assists, is still a good amount, and he's still give him some help. That's where you really want to address in my eyes is that, right wing, left wing on that second line. Maybe the goal is to surround him with some goal scorers. So it kind of takes a little bit of pressure on him. He's had zero talent. I've heard them looking at centers to kind of, they really like Charlie Coyle playing at right wing. I think he's up there in that Krejci line right now. That he's kind of clicked too, and it sounds like they kind of want to keep him at right wing. And now he's playing with Nick Ritchie too, and Nick Ritchie is a better third wing guy. So I mean, you really want him down on the third line. So I mean, if Paul Mary's been rumored, that he just got shut down by the Devils,
right?
Because they're going to trade him, and he's another guy like Krejci on an expiring deal. He doesn't have I don't think he has no movement, so he's going to come a lot cheaper than some of these other guys. And if you're really looking to buy, I mean,
so your idea of buying is similar to what they've done in the past. Is trying to find a guy to come in, shore up the secondary scoring, or potentially, for whatever reason we know the reason they've been looking at left shot defensemen. You got a bunch of young guys in Grzelcyk, essentially. So we know why they're looking at left wing, but obviously scoring is the biggest issue. But that's what it looks like to you. Is that what you want to see him do? Here's a first and a prospect for another right wing. They've done it 5 years in a row. Hasn't worked. I would say the Johansson and Coyle deal worked. You came within Tuukka shitting his pants from winning a cup. So let's give him credit for that. The Nick Rich or the Rick Nash deal kind of blew up in their face when he got that concussion. But bottom line, it didn't work. It didn't do what they wanted it to do. I'll give them the credit on the Johansson line, but I don't know. Like, how many times I guess you keep taking a crack at it. Like you said, the talent's there. I don't think Palmieri puts you over the edge, puts you over the Lightning or Toronto or shit. Even the Penguins gave you trouble. Like,
and they're also saying Palmieri for a comp is like a first, a second, and a third round pick because of what he is. But would you do that for an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year?
No.
No, I wouldn't either.
I would do it. I would give up a first. I mean, that's probably what you're going to do. But again, you're giving up the first. You're in win now mode because you've given up 3 out of your last 4. John Beecher was the only one kind of picked in last year, 2019. I think he was they picked him out 18. So I mean, it's tough because your minors is just so depleted. So you basically have no other choice to add talent is to be buyers. And if it costs you your first, I wouldn't pay that for Palmieri, but Garland down there in Arizona, he's worthy of a first in my eyes. Johnny Gaudreau, who looks like he's kind of on the outs with Calgary, has 13 goals and 38
all right,
games,
well, let's not walk past that. You sent us from the Causeway or whatever.
It's a Bruins jack off fucking
dumbass fucking
site.
article, but it's worth talking about. So the deal was Johnny Gaudreau and Harrison.
Noah Hannafin.
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 I fucking suck at hockey names. That they've had an eye on the Bruins have had an eye on for.
They tried to
draft him, right?
In 2015, they offered 3 first-round draft picks to move up to Carolina to draft him. They wanted to go, I think, as high. I forget where he went, but they were trying to get up to like 5 or 6 to draft.
Imagine
him.
That.
2015, yeah. What was that draft bill?
They could have just not blown those 3 first-round picks and got a stud left shot defenseman. That would have been great.
Or a nasty winger from, the center from Islanders who keep killing you every game. He'd look pretty fucking nice on this team right now.
They didn't have to trade up to get him. They just had to not pick the shitbags that they picked. Speaking of the shitbags that they picked, can the Bruins make something like this happen? Can they overhaul their roster with their underachieving young talent they have a lot of and get maybe less somewhat underachieving back? Like Garland is a guy that pops out. I wouldn't call him underachieving, but for whatever reason, he's on the outs in Arizona. How many more guys are like that across the league? Maybe Johnny Gaudreau is one of these guys that certainly is not underachieved, but how many more of these guys are on the outs that teams are in a position like Calgary's got $1.5 million in cap space. They got half their roster tied up to big money for 3 to 4 years. They probably, they're not going to make the playoffs. They might sense that Johnny Gaudreau wants out. That's why that article was brought up. I don't think that the return was like DeBrusque. What was the return? DeBrusque first and
Krejci, which is ridiculous. But Johnny Johnny Hockey's been I can't fucking back to shitty hockey names. He's been on the outs in Calgary for a little while. He burst on the scene. He's been good. I think he's got 160 goals and 500 career games somewhere around there. So I mean, the guy.
If you define Johnny Gaudreau as a 30-goal scorer.
Yeah. And it's
he's hit it once or twice and he's been around 27, 26. He's played 70, 72 to 82 games in his career. He's not an injury risk guy. The last 2 seasons have been a little bit of a dip for him in terms of production. Whatever you want to take out of the COVID year, but
last year was pretty good too because Calgary I think was a number 1 or number 2 seed.
Yeah, they were high up last year.
They were up there, and then they got I think they got swept in the first.
I guess
round.
my point is, Bill, and if you want to go on Gaudreau, DeBrusque Krejci in the first doesn't get you Hannafin and a good, but can you talk somebody into the upside of DeBrusque, the upside of Lauzon, the upside of Senyshyn, the upside of Zobril, the contract, the upside of Zakanainen, all of these guys that as Bruins we go, these guys have potential. They're kind of not doing it right now, right just yet with the Bruins, but can someone trying to get rid of a contract or a player that's going to leave him for nothing or in a position? Can you package some of those fucking guys together in a first and go get somebody?
They're afraid to trade fucking Jake DeBrusque because they don't want to unlock his potential in a new fucking site. Well, I've seen his potential and it sucks. So fucking ship his ass out of town. That's where you can, if they move him, that's buying because he's terrible. He has 2 goals and 2 goals. They need to do something. This is pathetic.
He has 2 goals and
2 goals.
2 goals.
That's it. That's all
yeah, but if you remember when he came back, he fired 14 shots up against the boards. So that was a nice sign of improvement, right?
God damn it. I was so high on him coming in the season, and that lasted 3 games.
DeBrusque to Bill was the Red Sox to me.
I was just gonna say that.
You hated DeBrusque in the playoffs last year, and then you decided to be positive and give him a chance coming in the year. It took a millisecond for you to go back hating DeBrusque. Same with me and the Red Sox.
I'm out.
Fuck him. I'm out.
Just take anything for him at this point. I mean, he's not producing. It'd be one thing if he looked okay and kind of got a little skunked here and there. He just got, puck luck is what it's called. He needs some of that maybe to get him hot. But you've seen him. He scored 27 goals, 2 years ago? The potential's there, but man, something needs to change. I don't know if it's the way Bruce wants him to fucking forecheck and get back and play a little defense, but something needs to change. He's not playing power play minutes anymore, and at this point, you're burning a hole in that right and left wing with him up there, and you've got to do something.
Let's play a game. Let's play an exercise. I got 3 names for you. Maybe 4 if you want to call it. If you want to talk Gaudreau. And these are guys that they've been linked to. You got Matthias Ekholm in Nashville. Palmieri in New Jersey, who we just talked about. And the Garland kid in your Arizona Coyotes. I want to see what we think it takes to get these guys and how many of them you think they can get off of what this roster has in draft picks. So let's just go one by one. And do you want to do Gaudreau? If you had your choice between, well, this is no brainer, but Palmieri and Gaudreau, it's Gaudreau. Yeah. Or Garland and Gaudreau. Between those three wingers.
He's the most skilled one. And if you can get him, I'd give up Beecher, quite a few first to get him.
Would you take Gaudreau over both of them? If you can get Palmieri and Garland and assume that Palmieri's back, do you take those two over just Gaudreau, or do you want Gaudreau?
I'd probably take them both because it fills a huge need on that.
All right, so let's leave off Gaudreau because I think that's going to be a little bit too high of an ask anyway to do what I want to do. What does it take to get Matthias Ekholm?
First round prospect and a player off your roster. Maybe a second or third thrown in there too. It's going to probably take multiple draft picks to get him, but it's a player off your roster, and be John Beecher. Or Vakanainen. One of those two have probably got to go on that deal. Those are your two best trade pieces because honestly, you're not moving Jeremy Swayman. He's the number 3 goalie prospect in the league right now, and he's your future goalie, so you're not going to move him. So I mean, okay, you're kind of stuck here.
So Beecher's your prospect here.
He's your best. Beecher or Vakanainen, one of those two.
And who's your player?
What's his contract?
Ekholm?
Yeah.
He's got like 3.6 next year.
I think he has 1 year left on his deal, right?
Yeah, one more year at like 3.6 or 3.7. It's pretty manageable. Ooh.
I mean, DeBrusk is a contract swap right there.
Yeah, DeBrusk, I would move DeBrusk to get Ekholm. But
okay, let's call it DeBrusk and move on so we're not wasting Palmieri, what does it take to get Palmieri? First, and maybe a player, probably a prospect, not a great one, I don't think. Let's call it prospect to be determined.
Yeah.
And Garland, the ask on Garland that I read was low. It was like a prospect.
Yeah, and maybe a first, which I'm all for that. I mean, I don't think I like Beecher's talent a lot, but I mean, he's 19, and you need to win now. Move him. He's hurt up in Michigan, but he was on the USA team last year before he got COVID and all that stuff. So, I mean, he's got.
Let me ask you this. Here's this to get Ekholm, Palmieri, and Garland. 3 first-round picks, John Beecher, Jake DeBrusk, Studnicka, and a lower ranked prospect.
Done. See ya. Bye-bye.
Do it.
Do you think that's unreasonable? Even if you wanted to throw in, in Ekholm, maybe a second-round pick, maybe maybe there's a third rounder thrown in there somewhere in one of these deals. You're giving up DeBrusk off your roster, Studnicka off your roster, Beecher, who's your highest prospect, and 3 first rounds is no small task. But you're bringing in a guy with term in Garland, who's young, a guy with term in Ekholm, who solidifies your left side, and a guy in Palmieri who fills a right wing scoring opportunity that you'd have to re-sign to decent money, not big money, but decent money that you're going to get with Krejci leaving. So
and Tuukka off the books too. Tuukka would probably be gone too, so you'd have money there.
Yeah, that's actually true. You might have to. What's Palmieri making?
Like 3.5, I think.
So you have about 3.5 in cap space. So Studnicka makes whatever he makes. You might have to throw some salary in there to make it work. I don't know if that's outrageous. I mean, we just worked through each name. That's 3 separate trades that Sweeney would have to pull. But the reason
he looks like a fucking genius if he can do this. That my God.
The reason why I say this is because I think this is what it takes, to compete. I think you need 2 more scorers, and I think you need a left shot defenseman to even sniff being competitive in the playoffs.
Well, Bill's been saying it all along. Secondary scoring, you don't have it. I mean, after the perfection line, you have nothing. Like, no one else produces. If you make these trades, boom, now you got actual lines you can play with. And like Tampa Bay last year, they had 4 lines that could produce. All lines could produce. Bruins don't have that right now. So if you can actually make these trades and deal these assets, you'd actually have a fighting chance in the playoffs.
I also think the Bruins are in a similar position where the Patriots were in the offseason here, where your roster is not great and you have nobody young coming up. So it's either you need to blow it up completely or you need to be aggressive and find different ways to to improve your team. The Patriots set it up where they just bottom. Bruins can't do that. You can't do that in the NHL. You got a hard cap, and unless you blow out your team, you don't have the money. So you got to get a little creative. You got to get creative. First round picks are no slouch in the NHL. I mean, they're worth a ton. But are you going to make 3 first round picks over 3 years that gives you the talent and on your roster to go win a championship with Marchand and Bergeron? No, of course not.
No,
of course not. So I like your point, Bill. If they're going to be buyers, be buyers. If you're going to be a Bear, be a Grizzly. I don't want to go see one fucking move for Palmieri with a first round pick and a prospect. Again.
Don't be a Black Bear.
Don't be a Black Bear. Bill, hey.
So I'm looking something up. Jesus.
He's looking at Stanford. Stanford just won the national championship, so he's all over the women's college hoops game.
Just look. There was another Bruins player that I was trying to, not a player, but another trade that I was trying to pull up, but I can't find it. So.
Well, you were clearly distracted because we said Black Bear and you didn't flip out in a rage.
Black Bear. You've already heard me. I could break one with my bare hands.
It's been a while since we've had an interview question. But that's
we got this. We got a couple this week. So
there we go.
Ooh, sweet.
No, Bill didn't know that. Sorry, Bill. Breaking news. We got a couple this week, Bill.
You got it.
Black Bear talk.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I stand. I've been clamoring for some real moves. There's some guys out there. Goudreau's a really enticing, interesting.
Stud.
He's 27.
I forget he's that old. I feel like he's just in the league, but he's been in the league 6 or 7 years now. Like
we signed that 6-year deal. He's got 2 years left on it. So
I think 1 year after this at like 6.
Oh no, it's technically 2 years left.
Yeah, well, 6-6 or something. You could get that just swapping out the breast too. So I mean, if you, that should be the target. If you can go out and get a guy that's going to fucking change the landscape of your secondary scoring.
Yeah,
he's the guy.
Let me throw one more at you. Let me get Ray's take on this because I know Bill's. I am flirting around with the idea of sniffing around, letting teams sniff around Pasternak. This is why. I mentioned. Sorry, Ray.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I mentioned it on the Monday show. My biggest problem with David Pasternak is his makeup. Obviously, his skill is undeniable. Bill will point out that he's a point-a-game player in the playoffs. I would ask you to go look. He's also a negative in the play. He's got a minus in the playoffs. And where do those points come? Do they come when they need them, or do they come in a flurry in a 6-2 game? Because that's what we saw here. That's what we've seen this year. When this team was down, they lost their goaltender. Their team was in a rut. Where was Pasternak? Nowhere for a month. And the only time that he showed up is when Marchand elevated his game and took his team to the next level. Then you saw Mr. Coattails come and score a couple goals. So I get it. I understand the talent's undeniable. It took Ovechkin 10 years to win a championship, and it took a hell of a team to get there. You'd get a haul for him. If you want to flip the roster, I'd sniff around at it.
That's your 3 first-round draft picks.
I'd sniff around at it, Raymond.
Yeah. I'd sniff at it, but like what happened with Tyler Seguin, I wouldn't do it. I mean, he's a 50-goal scorer down in Dallas, and egg on your face. That was the worst move that you could ever made. I would not let this young kid go. Quick
question, Bill. How many championships does Tyler Seguin have?
0. Well, he has 1 with the Bruins, but 0.
Oh, suck it. He has 1.
Then they trade.
Bill, just say 1. Just say 1, baby.
Quick question. How many times have the Stars made the playoffs with Seguin? Twice?
2 or 3. I mean, they went to the finals last year, but they got kind of lucky. Colorado got hurt in the Western Conference Finals. But, I mean, excuse me.
Oh, here's the COVID.
They're not that good. That's a smoker's cough, you fuck.
Look, I understand what it means to mention trading David Pasternak. I get he's 26, 24. How old is Pasternak? I feel like he's like
23 or 24. He's really young.
Yeah.
I feel like his age has bounced around like Danny Almonte. We're not quite sure. He's from a different country. We got to see the paperwork. We're not quite sure
we haven't had real paperwork.
Well, look, talk about egg on your face. In the Stanley Cup run, he broke his thumb being a young drunk jackass in Boston earlier in the season. In the bubble, him and fucking Kashik had to go play roller hockey in the middle of a goddamn world pandemic, missed the flight up to the bubble, missed most of the season, and then got a tummy hurt in there, missed games in the bubble. didn't start the season on time this year. You know, the guy doesn't show up when you need him. I don't even know if that's I don't even know if that's something that can be defended anymore. Like, what's David Pastrnak's biggest moment as a Bruin?
Bill?
I mean, yeah, that's a good question.
You know what I mean? You know, I get it. It's very unorthodox and probably crazy to say trading a guy like that on his contract, but like, hey man, nobody is untouchable except for Bergeron.
I'm in now. You changed my mind. Trade him.
Boy, Ray.
Nice.
See, and don't give Bill that much shit. I'm good. Don't give Bill that much shit for always switching sides.
You're good.
Essentially, what it boils down to is Pastrnak's a cunt, and Ray loves,
I love the
against
cunts. I love the cunts.
Okay, Bill's speechless. I win. All right. Well, that's all I got. That's all I got on the Bruins. I think they're right on the cups of being completely irrelevant in the town of Boston. I think that's how close they are.
Well, the Red Sox are already there, so Bruins aren't there yet. They will never be there until the Red Sox start fucking winning some games. But I mean, yeah, they're still a playoff team. Let's go.
Today's Tuesday. They're 0-5, so I mean, still got a ways to go.
I don't think they've lost yet today.
Good point. No, yeah, you're right. What was first pitch? 7:05. This is released. Whenever it's released. So
I'll race Damas. I'm looking into the future. They're going to be 0-5.
Got it. Check in the Wednesday's show to make sure we're right. All right, this has been the Silver Line Sports Show, Fat Tuesday edition, NHL trade deadline. What do the Bruins do? That's a good title. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Suck.
Not suck. We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Toodaloo, motherfuckers.
I'm excited to go back and listen to that show.
I'm excited to hear that show. Do we tell them, or we don't say a word?
No, we can tell them.
No.
We had some fun. Our Sunday social hour that'll probably be released in 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know. We'll back up a little bit. Ray came up with the really great idea that. God damn, he's been looking at his phone the entire fucking show.
Oh, I just got a new crack on my screen, so I was just looking at it. I was trying to see if it was my screen protector or my screen. And I can multitask. I listen to everything you're saying. Your social hour and Ray's fucking awesome idea.
I mean, I bring up the idea of trading David Pastrnak, and he just sits back in his chair looking at his screen crack. Like, oh, shit. When did that happen?
You know my idea of you're not trading him. I don't want him gone anywhere. He's a 50-goal scorer. Keep him. Don't move him. You'll get a haul.
Anyway, Sunday Social Hour, we discussed movie characters that we think are you or resemble you.
Remind us of you.
Billy Trashcan, Billy Badwards.
Sweet. Can't wait to listen.
He's not going to listen.
Dude, I'm so many shows behind.
Who do you think? Who do you think we picked?
I don't know. I'll have to think. It's gonna be
all right.
hard.
Clearly, Bill is fucking distracted. Bye.
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 He can go.
He's such a cunt.